Yeah. After rewatching it, I had it very close, a point or maybe a draw, depending on what angle I give the round seven. Like I think Natty summed it up in a lot of it. Like I think a lot of people were under this Willie Pep spell where the myth that he won a round without throwing punches. And I was thinking the same thing. Are people scoring style points? Because Danny is not polished. He hasn't got fast feet. He doesn't have the same dexterity of foot that Lamont does. So at times he was making him look like a plodder. But Danny was a very effective. When Danny was throwing his jab, he was coming forward, and you see Lamont had to set his feet again when he got hit clean. Danny didn't have to reset. Like Danny picked a lot of them shots off on the gloves. A lot of them did hit, but without Danny, there'd be no tempo to the fight at all. And I think one of the biggest things that I learned from this fight is that pro boxing needs to go back to 15 rounds. This fight needed to be a 15-rounder, you know. And I had it close. I think Lamont is the better fighter, but he hurt himself. He hurt himself by starting so late. Simple as.
All right, Beats, thanks for that. All right, let's go, Dana. Make your case, bro.
In that fight with Lamont Peterson and Danny Garcia, in the first 4 to 5 rounds, Lamont was moving. He was actually what he was doing. He was moving around the ring, but a lot of boxing fans thought that there was boxing. But basically, sometimes the judges look at it as running. So, if Lamont Peterson would have just sort of boxed from in and out instead of circling Danny Garcia in those first 4 rounds, he may have gotten the decision. But in my opinion, I think the right person won the fight because of the earlier rounds. Lamont Peterson did come on late. He just started too late. I think about round 5 is when he started to really come on and try to put pressure on Danny Garcia and back him up. But at the end of the night, I think Danny Garcia just packed too many rounds in early. From the referees, and again, it wasn't anything that Danny Garcia did, but it was everything that Lamont Peterson did when he was moving and boxing. But at the same time, even though Danny Garcia did not was moving forward, sometimes the judges look at that as, well, he's the guy that's initiating the action. So those first 5 rounds could have definitely been the difference in the fight. And so I had no problem with Danny Garcia winning a close decision. But I think next time, hopefully there's a rematch, and we'll see what happened there, because you can definitely tell that Lamont Peterson, in my opinion, he's the better fighter of the two, but Lamont Peterson's game plan just started a little too late for him to get the W.
Okay, thanks for that, Dana. All right, Chris Caban, go ahead, Chris.
Yes, we all watched the fight.
Chris.
I watched the fight twice this morning. I saw you, man, had the same score, 115 to 113.
Yo, Chris, you're really disturbing.
I'm trying to tell him, bro. Like, I don't know what the frig, Chris, bro. But every time, I don't know, he does some hocus pocus. I'm gonna bring him back in a sec here. He needs to. It's too loud, man. He gonna murder someone with that speaker. Hold on, he gonna jump back in. He gonna call back in a minute. Someone else, who just jumped in? Ashley Knuckles. Ashley, what you saying, bro? I guess he gonna. Yeah, you know what? Chris, I'm gonna call Chris back. Let me call Chris back in real quick. Bear was fight fans, man. Let me sort this out, because Chris thing's too loud, man. That gonna kill everyone. That was just too. I don't know. I don't know what it is. Like every hangout, man. Chris done turn. He done turn the volume up or something. Let me call him back real quick.
Hello?
Yeah, Chris, keep it. Yeah, go ahead, Chris. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I thought Lamont moved a little bit too much. He threw a jab here and there and threw a couple of punches, but he just didn't throw enough. And I thought Danny took control of the earlier rounds. I had it 115, 113, and Lamont picked it up later on, but it was like too late. It was too late by then. Yes, he busted his face up. I heard people say he busted his face up. But those was in that later round. He absolutely didn't do anything in the first half of the fight. I watched it 3 times and I got the same score, 115, 113. I couldn't find no earlier rounds to give on Lamont. They controlled the early part of the fight, and that cost Lamont. I think if they have a rematch, or if it went 15 rounds, he probably would have stopped Danny. But it's a 12-round fight, and Danny took control. And he took control of the first half, and he won the fight. Lamont just just started the fight too late. He did the same shit against Tim Bradley. He's gave away early rounds and fought late. He's just known for doing that. Mm-hmm. That's my piece.
All right, man. Good job, Chris. I'm gonna add my 2 pieces in it as well. Well, when I came watching the fight, man, I watched it with Beats, watched it with Chris. And I was frustrated, man, because I'm a fan of Peterson. I'm the only one who picked him, to be honest with you, to win. And I was like, all right. So the fight starts, and I'm like, why the frig are you moving around so much? But, I'm watching it on the stream. Now, on the stream, when I'm watching, I'm like, they won't give him them rounds. They're not going to give him the rounds. He's taking too long, right? So the only one I get excited, I'm getting worked over by Beats and the rest of them, laughing at me, whatever. And when round 8 came, he put his foot down. He started fighting like when he fights Amir Khan. He started putting some serious pressure on him, and I was like, yeah, that's what's up, man. That's what's up, man. Yo, and I was cheering Lamont, go get him. And he was going after him. And to be honest with you, I was thinking, maybe I said at that point I only gave him round 8, but to be honest with you, Lamar, from 8 onwards, a lot of people will agree that, like, maybe he won all the rounds. So you got 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Someone's doing some cool. That's you, Ashley. No, don't worry about it. It's all right now. Right, don't worry about it. Yeah, anyways, yeah. So I gave him from 8 onwards. But initially I only gave him this 8 round. That was it. But I looked on the fight again this morning, and I was like, I saw a completely different fight. I saw the Lamar on the back foot outboxing him, and Danny looked puntless, making Danny miss. So I was like, man, I'm watching this fight. I'm like, man, and it's like it really confused me, and I was just listening to everyone's video. So I'm in a haze. But initially, I'm gonna stay. But I say initially, I only had. Peterson only winning 1 round, but he didn't. He won much more rounds than that. But I was getting worked over by the brother, so maybe my when I was watching it, I was my vision was a bit skewed of how I saw it. But for me personally, I think at the time, and I'm probably gonna stay with it. Controversially, I think Danny still won the fight because I knew they wouldn't give it to him. That's why I knew. I knew they would give it to him. But you know what I'm saying? That's my take on it. Hey, Knuckles, man, what you saying? Knuckle up, Mr. Ashley. Ashley Knuckles, unmute yourself, bro. Jump in, my man. How you doing, my man? You alright? Ashley. After. Oh, man. Probably got the same problem we had from last week, right? Oh, man. Yeah. Maybe his Wi-Fi. Maybe he go sort it out. Don't worry about it, man. Alright, what am I going to bring up right now, yeah? I'm going to bring up for you guys, listen. We're going to go back again up. I'm going to bring up the punch stats. I don't know if you guys see it. It'll be on the screen right here in a second, right? Let me see. In the punch stats. I'm going to go through it. So I'm going to go with Natty. Natty, man. What'd you see here? Unmute yourself, Natty.
What you say?
The punch stats are in front of you, right? Hold on 1 minute. I'm just going to stick.
Yeah, let me see.
Yeah, there you are, right there. You see it?
I mean, to be completely honest, I don't really pay attention to CompuBox. But CompuBox, pretty much shows it right here. Power punches are in Danny Garcia's favor. You know what I'm saying? The total punches are in Danny Garcia's favor. And, we're scoring a 10-point must system. You know what I mean? We're not scoring by the amount of punches being thrown or the amount of punches landed. You know what I mean? So it's very possible that Lamont Peterson caught up to Danny Garcia later in the fight. Because you could see when Danny Garcia's output, started to dwindle and Lamont Peterson started to rise up, you know what I'm saying? But as far as that goes, if you're into that, you know what I mean, Danny Garcia's winning that too.
All right, cool. Hey, Ashley Knuckles, I'm muted. Go ahead, Ashley. Make your case about who you think won the fight, and then I'll do the punch stats in a bit. Go ahead.
Testing, Mike, testing. Y'all hear me?
Yeah, man. Yeah. Mic check on 1, 2. Go ahead, bro. Oh man.
You got another one.
Yeah, he got another one. All right, we move on to
It's
Mike.
the Android. It's the Android device.
Yeah. No, we go. All right, hey, Mike, unmute yourself, Mike.
Yeah.
All right, so we got the punch stats. So, what's your take on the punch stats, my man?
Okay. Garcia threw more, but total punches connected. It was about even. On the other hand, Peterson, he threw more jabs, landed more jabs. I'm with Natty on this one. The punch stat, it only goes for so far for me. Garcia threw more power punches overall, landed more power punches overall, while Peterson threw more jabs and landed more jabs. But I push back against that some because Peterson wasn't as effective earlier while Garcia was, and Garcia's faded late, and that caused Peterson to catch up. So punch stat numbers, it goes only so far with me. I just go by what I see, and I don't rely that much on a punch stat punches because punch stats can be deceiving in so many ways.
Okay, all right, cool. Ashley Knuckles, you think working now? Ashley Knuckles, unmute yourself, bro. Or maybe he's froze again. I suppose he froze again. Boxing Beats, what do you think about the punch stats, man?
The punch stats, they are what they are. You know, like I'm very much a visual what I see guy. The punch stats, they hold some weight, you know, in depending on how you use them. But you know, here's the thing: it was a good fight. Watching it again, it was a really good fight. What the punch stats tell me is that it was a close fight. It was a very close fight. A lot of people think Peterson won. I think he styled on Garcia a lot, and there's validity in that too. It's called ring generalship, and if you can use that to your advantage, like Leonard did Hagler, no problem at all. The thing is, though, the only problem, the reason why there's such an outcry for Lamont, in my opinion, is the climate we're in. Like this fight here it needs to be done again, but it takes so long for promoters and networks to get fights cracking. Like, you know, you have to wait 6-7 months, and by that time they're going to go a different direction and this and that. Like, to me, this fight could happen in 3 months. 3 months time it could happen again. They should just look, we need to go again. 3 months time it happens again. But these days they fight twice a year. They're very selective on what moves the box is going to make. So people are going to kick up a big stink about it when it shouldn't really. You know, it should be what it is. It was a good fight. It was a good fight. They do it again. They make some good money, and we try and establish who's the dominating fighter. I think that's where we need to go with it.
All right, cool, man. All right, go ahead, Dana. What do you think? Take on the punch stats.
Well, what the punch stats show me is pretty much Peterson was the more accurate fighter, and Garcia threw and landed more. But at the end of the day, when it comes to punch stats and, you know, CompuBot stats, it's basically just like boxing fans are. You know, you have defensive type style boxing fans, and you have aggressive style boxing fans. I think it's the same thing lies within the judges. So it's all in what the judges see, in my opinion, as far as those punch stat numbers go. At the end of the day, Peterson was more accurate. I do see why some people think he may have won the fight, but at the end of the day, Garcia won this fight basically based on Lamont Peterson's. He just didn't do too much in those first 5 rounds, in my opinion. I mean, he did box well, I guess, moved and boxed well, but at the end of the day, he was not as active, even though he was moving around the ring. Danny